everyone. My name is Li Sun. Today I will talk about public space and health. So first, when we talk about the term of public space, we would like to know history of this concept. So public space was emerged in 19th century in cities like Paris, London, and Barcelona, because back then people went out shopping on street and they also socialized with each other. So that was where public space first emerged. But nowadays, there are many forms of public space like street, park, square, playground, no matter in the city center or in the village, that's rural areas. Public space play a very important role in everyday life. So you can say the Sustainable Development Goals, Target 11.7, special emphasize the importance of the universal access to public space. There are many value and benefits of public spaces. The first one is public space supports residents' health and well-being. And second, public space enhances community cohesion and social fabric. Third, public space increase the environmental value, like the green space. Fourth, public space can also promote economy, especially like in Global South. The informal street economy is very important in cities. But we are focusing on the first one. Public space promotes the residents' health and well-being. For example, in some Chinese cities, many people would like practice Tai Chi in the morning, and they would do some square dancing. And this is a very good way to reduce the obesity and also promote the physical health, especially among the elderly groups. And second, public space can also support the mental health through the social interaction and also socialize. This is regarded as a very important way to maintain the mental well-being, especially in cities. And third, public space is very important for psychological well-being because it can help to reduce the stress. For example, if you are sitting in a green park, then you would feel much better than sitting somewhere without any green space. So that would help with your psychological well-being. And also, public space can help with emergency health use. For example, during the outbreak of the COVID last year, a large number of Indian migrant workers moved back from cities to country. But on the way back, sometimes they had to stop in some place, just take a rest or even sleep. So normally they would do it like in the highway or under bridge. So such public space provide the use of the emergency health. But when we talk about public space, like I mentioned, the different function of the space, and there are also some successful case in the world to show how the public space can made especially in the urban regeneration project. So I here gave you a very successful case from Madrid in Spain. So you can say the red bit was the regeneration area. And then you can see the comparison before the urban regeneration and after urban regeneration with a focus on the public space. So you can see this bit. There are a lot of green trees and also a lot of sitting areas like bench and playground. And before was like very normal, ordinary pavement. So after 10 years of the urban regeneration project, Madrid is regarded as very successful, transform this to a multifunctional public space place. So you can see some elderly, they can sit on the bench, and some children can play, and also the cars are driving under this. So this is a very interesting and important case for learning across the whole world. So normally when we talk about public space, we would ask him who is using which space. Because like I mentioned, public space is important in both rural and urban area, but the function sometimes different. For example, one of the picture on the top is I made in a Chinese village, and I found that some women, they wash their clothes in the public washing spot. So that is regarded as one of the public space in village. But in cities, people have access to tap water at home, so they don't need to have a public washing spot. So this is the difference of the different public space between rural area and also the urban area. And also, public space can be used differently among the different social groups, like the elderly people, children, women, migrants, and the disabled. So the picture on the bottom is clearly shown, like elderly people, they use the park, meaning they sit on the bench. But like children, they simply playing in the park or in the playground. So it's quite clear to say that different social groups have the different demand for the use of public space. One of the group I mentioned is the disabled, because you can say Vancouver is doing quite well to facilitate the individuals who are deaf or blind by using the accessible pedestrian signal. And this is particularly important for people with disability. Although such facilities are not well established in the global South countries, but this would set a very good example for the future's urban planning. But like I said, there are some successful examples to include people into the different types of public space. But unfortunately, there are also some downside of the spatial segregation regarding the public space, which cause the access to public space is quite unequal among the different social groups. For example, gated community often turn the public goods into the club goods, which exclusively to the community residents. So which means people do not live in the gated community. They have low access to the public space in the gated community. So which is one form of the spatial exclusion. But now we are still like in the COVID-19 period. We are very much looking forward to the post-COVID-19 era. But the COVID-19 reshaped our understanding of the public space, especially in cities. For example, Milan is the first city because of the COVID-19 to announce the importance of the active mobility, like walking or biking. So Milan is a city in Italy, you know, they widened the sidewalks, and also they built 35 kilometers of new bike lane and remove of the vehicle lanes. So this is one of the major Milan did in the COVID era period. But other cities across the world, like Boston, London, Vancouver, Brussels, New York, Paris, Barcelona, and also Hangzhou is doing very well with an access of the bike lane across the cities. Except the active mobility in the COVID period, the rooftop garden is also emerging because of the COVID, because people really appreciate the green area in the city center, and they start to use the rooftop, and they also can get fresh air. Unlike the stuck in a room, you need the ventilation, but on the rooftop, there are not of fresh air. So some cities like Chicago, Barcelona, Tokyo are doing very well in the rooftop gardens. So therefore, it's very important to recognize how COVID-19 accelerated the policymaker, practitioners, planners, and the citizens further understanding of the value of the public space. Like I mentioned, the benefits of the public space on their health, and also the benefits of the public space on the economy, and also on the social fabric. Therefore, it's quite crucial to promote public space inclusiveness and also accessibility through the planning system. Inclusiveness is really emphasized on the different social group. Like I said, some social group might be excluded from some forms of public space. And also accessibility means public space should be easily accessed by the different group, either in cities and in villages. Because some people, if they live nearby a park, they might have better accessibility compared to people live far away from that park. So it's important to have very flexible and different size of public space across a particular district, area, city, or in the countryside as well. In this process, the planning system is a key. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.